Krishna, Prabhu. It's yours.
Thank you. He's going to speak for a few minutes.
Okay.
Mike?
I'll start, but we can have some kirtan for 5-7 minutes till the devotees assemble. Can someone lead the kirtan? For next around 7 minutes, 5-7 minutes.
Ja, das ist abgeschlossen.
Hare Krishna. I'd like to welcome you all this evening for the part 2 of the Devotee Care Seminar. We'll begin by chanting the invocation prayers. Om Gyantimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shanyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubheva paridanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Yes, screen. Anyway. No, black. Either blank or... Oh, okay. Yes, sir was here. Anyway. I remove it and then you can plug it. Okay. Hare Krishna. Okay, so once again, welcome everyone. Can someone help me recall the vision for devotee care? Yes, the vision for devotee care. There is an acronym I had suggested, a small vision for devotee care. Yes, Damodara Priya Mataji. No, I have corrected my today. I addressed you as Damodara Kripa Mataji in the morning. Then someone corrected me. I said, oh. Yes. Okay, one point we discussed was, yes, this devotee care is mainly about extending our care, and automatically everyone will receive care. That's a point we discussed. Good. But specifically, can recall the formal vision statement that we discussed? Formal vision statement. Those who have come to the lotus feet of Krishna and Prabhupada, can someone complete? Now you're reading it out. Okay, good. Still good. Since you noted it down. Okay, read it out.
I should positively identify themselves with ISKCON as a caring society and feel protected, inspired, and encouraged to remain active in their Krishna consciousness till the last breath of their life.
Okay. Now can someone paraphrase? Now can someone just repeat what you heard in your own words? No? You just heard. What again? You have to hear carefully. Yes, Subal Gopal Prabhu, try.
One should identify with the association of the followers of Srila Prabhupada.
One should identify with
the association of devotees.
Association of devotees.
And in that regard, give care and receive care.
Okay, fine. You just read it out. Someone else paraphrase. Please paraphrase what we just discussed. What Heidi, right? Heidi, what Heidi just read out. Can someone just explain in her own words? No? Okay, without the book. Okay, fine. Okay, we feel safe in the society, we want to remain in the community. Fine. So there are a few things in the formal vision statement. That means anyone who has come to ISKCON, that is Lotus Feet of Prabhupada and Krishna, they should identify with ISKCON as a caring society. This is a caring society of devotee. The positive identification, this is an important word. Then feel, I had told that whenever you eat next time pie, any kind of pie, apple pie, blueberry pie, strawberry pie, remember this term pie, devotee care pie, P-I-E. We want every devotee to feel protected, inspired and encouraged. Protected, inspired and encouraged to go on with their Krishna consciousness till the age of 50, 60, last breath, yes, good. till the last breath of their lives. We want the devotees to go on with their practice of Krishna consciousness. So therefore we need to, we have to make sure that the devotees are physically protected, spiritually inspired, and remember that the three terms, P-I-E, physical protection, spiritual inspiration and encouragement, emotional encouragement. The mind needs to be encouraged. Even Sanatana Goswami, like such a great personality, felt discouraged at one point of time, and he thought, I will end my life. My life is good for nothing. I can't do any service. I'm only creating offenses. So he contemplated suicide. Sanatana Goswami. Lord said, no, come on. Your body is my valuable property. I am going to accomplish so many things through you. So Lord Chaitanya had to encourage him. Even Sanatana Goswami felt, because the law of this world is, sometimes the situations change, and at times we could be feeling very low in due course of time. Anyone devotee could feel very low. Even a person like Sanatana Goswami felt very low at one point of time. And Lord Chaitanya encouraged him. So this is there. So we all need at time encouragement for the mind. And of course, protection, physical protection, a safe place, as Heidi said, where you feel physically protected, and also spiritual inspiration. Fine. So that's the devotee care vision. Now, we also discussed that the care term has two broad categories of meaning. Two broad categories. Can someone recall? The care, the term care or devotee care has two broad, there are several meanings we explored yesterday, right? Care means love, compassion, attention, guidance, personal interest in somebody. We explored so many varieties of meaning of the word care. But then we understood that there are two broad categories of meaning of the word care. Yes, Mother Damodara Priya Devi. It's a virtue. As action. Very good. Just synonymous with the word bhakti, which is virtue, devotion of the heart, but which also manifests through practical action. So therefore the term care has these two aspects. And our vision, just like the vision is, we have already said the vision, we want every devotee to feel protected, inspired, encouraged to go on with their Krishna consciousness till the last breath. Our mission, how are we going to achieve it? We are going to talk about devotee care and spread this virtue of devotee care. We want the virtue of devotee care to pervade in our society, and we want to provide or support caring services to the devotees. That's our mission. Twofold mission in relation to the virtue of care should pervade. Of the 26 qualities of a pure devotee, what's the first quality? Yes, Prabhu.
I'm not sure.
Make a guess. Good. Never mind.
Don't want to criticize.
Of the 26 qualities? Okay, that's good. He is Adoshadarshi, doesn't see fault. But it's not the first one. The first quality of the 26 qualities of pure devotee, yes? Kindness. Remember the word Krishna, Krishna begins with K. So the devotee's first quality of the 26 qualities, devotee is kind to others. Devotee is kind to others. So therefore, we want this virtue of devotee care, being kind to others, to pervade in our society. We want to discuss about it. And plus we want to also provide and support caring services. Now, in how many areas we want to support the devotees? Care for the devotees. Can someone tell the number of areas we discussed yesterday? 12 areas. Which is the first and the foremost? Spiritual life. And there are other 11 areas to assist spiritual life. Yes.
I was wondering in that connection, care is defined as a virtue, then it naturally manifests in our all activities.
If care is defined as a virtue, then it naturally manifests in all our activities. Now again, when we discussed of some virtue, we gradually by discussion we develop, not that we are always kind. As conditioned soul, we are not always kind. Therefore, his 26 qualities, that is the quality of a pure devotee. He is extremely kind. Devotees in general should be kind, but at times, because we have both the kind of natures, the divine and the demonic nature within us, we could be at times harsh with others. Okay? So, therefore, we want this quality to be developed. So, we make a conscious effort. See, bhakti works in two ways. When we develop devotional service, naturally all good qualities manifest. But we are practicing devotees. For us to practice bhakti also, we practice certain good qualities. Therefore, Rupa Goswami said, Utsaha, Nishchaya, Dhairya. Practice this. These are favorable qualities to bhakti, to practice of bhakti. These 6 will enhance the Utsaha, Nishchaya, Dhairya. So we practice certain qualities which enhance our devotional service, and when our devotional service is enhanced, we naturally develop these qualities. It's like two-way. Bhakti is a two-way process. Bhakti is the process of reciprocation, everything works two-way. It's not one way. So that way. So we want the devotees to understand the importance of being more caring and kind. Not just a virtue, sometimes, to be sensitive. At times we may not even realize we may be harsh with somebody. So certain training is also required. How to properly communicate in a kind way, non-violent, such things. Empathic listening, etc., etc. So certain training is also required. So there were 11 areas to support devotees. It's not easy to go on practicing spiritual life till the last breath. It's not easy. So the devotees needs support system within the community, and we discuss whose responsibility it is. Everyone's responsibility, but especially the leader, whatever the leader emphasizes, that becomes the culture of the place. Therefore, as leaders, and all of you are leaders in your own way, actually. And each devotee, Prabhupada would write, when our movement was just, this is in 1971, Prabhupada is writing, so you are our veteran devotee. Yeah? How many have spent more than 5 years in ISKCON? All of you are veteran devotees. You are leaders actually. Prabhupada, entrusted this mission to, he gave the leading responsibility to those devotees that spent just 3, 4, 5 years. So you all are leaders in that sense. So therefore, especially those who are in any kind of leadership role, if we are emphasizing and prioritizing, that will gradually become the culture. Right? Okay, so there were 12 areas we saw out of a spiritual life, the first and foremost, but to practice the spiritual life, devotee needs support. To give you one very practical example, one devotee invested in one building near the Melbourne Temple. Now, Melbourne Temple is downtown, very costly area. It's a downtown city. So he invested in a building and he gave it to those devotees who were singles, shared accommodation. He turned into like a youth hostel. He was working, studying, which was very close to the temple. So they could stay there and come to the temple frequently for services, for satsang. And hundreds of, youngsters became very committed devotee, because this devotee purchased the building and made it into a ISKCON youth hostel and gave it a very subsidized price. Which area of care is that out of the 11 areas, 11 supportive areas? Housing. You provide, help the devotees to have a housing, proper housing near to the temple, affordable. Devotees can nicely serve, community can grow. Hundreds of youngsters became devotees, and they got then married, and they became congregation devotees. They settled near the temple. There are hundreds of devotees who came through that one building over the last 20 years. It's actually actual example. We witnessed that. So each area, I can give n number of examples how when we support devotional service of devotees in a practical way, many devotees will feel encouraged to serve. Okay, yes, Subal Gopal Prabhu.
Just wondering, with all these areas, how can we manage it that our areas are taken care of, because one devotee probably is not able to take care of the few areas. How do you do it?
How do we take care of? So that's what I'm saying. There are so many areas. In the leaders can sit and see, what's the need, which area needs to be prioritized at this point of time, and we have some small initiative to support, and we empower other devotees. Basically, it's not the leader himself has to do. He can empower other devotees. Can you support, the devotees in this particular area of devotee care? Can you help some devotees find some good employment? Someone who is a good HR person, he can help devotees with some employment. Someone can help devotees with the housing, so on and so forth. So it's just that empowering the community devotees, finding the right kind of person to provide right kind of service. But emphasizing it, this is important, and appreciating that. So the devotees feel encouraged. Yes, Munindra Prabhu, amazing enthusiasm.
In India, it's mostly what you explain this point, that when devotees are supporting something, it's often the names are written and it's announced.
Oh, okay. Those are donors' name. In the India, there are those wealthy people who donate. They want some kind of recognition, and and we put it in the temple. This has been donated by such and such person. It's by such and such person, and so on. So they feel more encouraged to donate. But that's there. That's not for devotees. That's for the donors. That's more than care. That's like a fundraising strategy to acknowledge, certain names, and people like those wealthy people when they come to temple. Okay, my name is written as a great donor, so they may continue to donate, support the projects. But that's not directly devotee care as such.
Yes, but is it also helpful by devotees sometimes physically, if they can help or support it, for example?
It is helpful with devotees.
Maybe for them to have appreciation for it, or to advertise something, is it not so useful?
I didn't get the question. No, who? You are asking which context now? This is already being done in India. Those who are big time donors, they may be devotees, may not be devotees. Their names are acknowledged when they give a big contribution, just so that they continue to give. That's it. So it's just a strategy. It's not as such devotee care directly. Yeah. Fine. Yes, something else? Any other question you may have from yesterday? Hi, you wanted to ask something? Yes.
I had two questions. The first one is if we have a need for any kind of care, but we are afraid that we are maybe annoying other persons.
Yeah.
How to deal with it?
Okay. Good point. In general, Prabhupada, encourage the devotees not to be demanding, but the leaders to be proactively caring. Or leaders understand, okay, this is the need of the devotees, so I should try to provide on my own. But devotees in general should not be demanding. And therefore, but yes, we have some need. Therefore, we can express it without feeling fear. Said, okay, now I have this need. Only if it is possible. I know there are many constraints within a community. Only if it is possible. If it is possible, this will help me, in my devotional service. So we can just express humbly in a requesting mood. And if it can be fulfilled, fine. Otherwise, we can, within our own capacity, we can try to find out something. We can try to find out something where we can take care of our own self also at times. At times the community is not able to support, then we can take care, manage things in such a way that we can take care of ourselves, do something about it.
Okay. And then I wanted to ask if it's the other way around, that somebody wants something of us, but this is kind of our borders, and maybe we don't have such time or energy to help the person out. Then we also don't want to be disrespectful.
Yes, again, good point. What about when other devotees need care? What about we are not able to provide? Now, it depends upon, who that devotee is, how much that devotee has spent time. Just like if some devotees have really served for many years and they are in need, then we should try to support them, go a little out of the way to support them. But otherwise there are other devotees who may be relatively young, and there could be, So at times we may sometime apologize or direct them to someone else that I am sorry, I am not able to provide or take care of your need at this point of time, but maybe this person can help you out. So you can just humbly express our limitation, no harm. If possible, if we can stretch ourselves a little bit, if that's possible, depending on who that person is, then the Lord is pleased by that act. So case to case, yes.
And one last question is, yesterday you mentioned when maybe we said something and somebody perceived it in the wrong way.
Someone may perceive in a wrong way.
Yeah, then we should try to still apologize and try to do it better. And I didn't want to offend you. It was not my intention like this. But for me, it's like, what is the difference then to be humble or to be to have I have such a word, hypocrisy?
Hypocrisy.
Yeah. Like sometimes it's near, it's close to each other,
Okay, good point. So basically, feel absolutely comfortable. Use the chair to stretch your legs. I am saying turn the chair and use it nicely. Feel absolutely comfortable. Don't have to feel, we are, yeah. So, see, we don't want to be hypocrites in the sense, we don't want to show off something. Sincerity means we try to understand the importance that yes, if someone has perceived me wrong, that means there could be something wrong in the way I spoke. No, nature of our mind is we'll feel I am right. I just express myself. Why should that person should mind and this and that, So we tend to always perceive ourselves as correct and as right. But someone else has perceived, so we, as humility, we should accept that yes, probably possibly, the way I spoke or the way I acted may have hurted somebody. So we don't want to do it artificially, but understand the importance. That means humility. It takes humility to just accept that yes, I could be wrong at least. I could be wrong. So therefore, making that, having that understanding that yes, I could be wrong. So therefore, let me apologize, and that will be great. No, it doesn't matter whether I was wrong or I wasn't wrong, but just that I took shelter of humility and I said, okay, I could be wrong, so let me apologize. That act itself makes the Lord is pleased with that humility. He sees that this devotee is, humble, and we make good amount of progress, irrespective of whether I was wrong or not. Irrespective of that. Right? So that attitude itself is pleasing to the Lord. Just like, to give you Bhagavatam example, Chitraketu Maharaj, he didn't mean to offend Lord Shiva. He was just speaking lightly. He was actually glorifying Lord Shiva in his own way. But Mother Parvati perceived it to be very critical. Her perception. Lord Shiva didn't have any wrong perception. Chitraketu Maharaj did not have any wrong intention. But Mother Parvati perceived it wrong. And Chitraketu Maharaj said, "Oh, if you think, I have done something inappropriate, I apologize." He simply, and Lord Shiva starts glorifying him. Look at him. And he said, "I accept your punishment, nonetheless. If you think I have made something wrong, I didn't intend to do, I didn't intend to, or neither did I actually criticize him. But you perceived it like that, but still, therefore, I apologize, I say sorry, and I also accept your punishment." And then, because he took that stance in a humble way, Lord Shiva began to glorify. Do you look at the greatness of the devotees? Right? Lord Shiva is telling Mother Parvati, look at the greatness of the devotees. He did not become agitated by your curse at all. So like that. So he is glorified for that act. Fine?
It's such an advanced quality.
Yeah, actually. Yeah. Thank you for nice question. Yes, Mother Damodara Priya, you have any question or any concern to share?
You already answered with the words that we have to go on two tracks. One side, deepening our spiritual activities, or advancing in our Krishna consciousness, and on the other side, also develop actively or have an active attention on caring, because this virtue has to develop. The more we become purified by devotional service, the more that caring attitude is awakening.
Yes.
So, because for me it's more of a question of a different approach. It's actually a pity that as a movement of personalists that we have to talk about devotee care. Be very natural.
Yes. Yes.
To care for each
Yes. So therefore certain things which are natural to the soul, because we are in unnatural environment, our coverings are unnatural, the conditioning of the three moods is unnatural, so therefore, this is part of the process. It's part of the process. Till we are naturally very pure and caring, till that at least we understand the importance and practice. That's the meaning of practicing devotees.
And I'm a little bit afraid that by terming it devotee care, we may limit it on a bare activity and lose the virtue out of sight.
Lose the virtue.
Like a virtue is all including. It's not just limited, okay, I use my virtue of care for the devotee.
Okay.
I use it, it's there.
Okay, yeah. The kindness to all living entities, actually. Kindness to all living entities. So we should be, because ultimately every soul is potentially a devotee. So devotee care, in that way we can expand. Everyone is a potential devotee, is it not? Because the dormant bhakti lies in everyone's heart. Everyone is a devotee. So therefore devotee care concept can be extended. But yes, still, like those who have spent 15, 20, 30 years, we want to, also prioritize. It's a question of priority. You want to prioritize so that they are taken care of. They deserve more care and attention. Of course, a different kind, I would say. A different kind. It's not that. So a different kind. They need some more support because they have grown. And they have grown older also. The younger ones probably do not need that kind of, so much of. Everyone needs kindness and love, no doubt. But yes, those who have grown old, they have served a lot. Their body has worn in serving. So they need more support, naturally. Right? They need greater support and care. And therefore we prioritize. Yes, Purushottam Krishna Prabhu.
There's also this distinction in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was saying Jiva Daya
Yes.
and Vaishnava Seva.
Yes.
In that sense, it's also Vaishnava Seva to be
They are potential Vaishnavas. Potential Vaishnavas. So Jiva Daya, if you see Jiva Daya, that is more outreach. Vaishnava Seva is more in reach. Though everyone is a potential Vaishnava. So you see, Name Ruchi is again devotion to the Lord. It's a devotion to the Lord. I said servant means three things in the morning, if you remember. Devotion to the Lord, Das. Affection to other devotees. And selfless service, which means compassion to all living entities. So outreach is there. This should be all balance. Our own expression of our own devotion to the Lord, we should take out exclusive time to express our devotion, chant His holy name, read Bhagavatam. Then friendliness with devotees, devotee care, in reach. And the outreach in terms of selfless service, showing compassion. So these three should be balanced. Fine. So does that answer the question? Okay, good. So these three correspond to Name Ruchi, Vaishnava Seva and Jivadaya. Balance. Yes, Heidi. We discussed this morning that the meaning of the word Das, servant. D means devotion for the Lord. A means affection for other devotees. And S means selfless service to all living entities. In terms of bringing them to Krishna consciousness, Sankirtan. Okay, so I think I will stop over here. If you have any other question, I'm here after the session, after 7 p.m. You could talk to me. Tomorrow morning we'll be leaving after Mangalarti around 5:30 a.m. But we had a very great time over here, very memorable visit. So now I would like to invite Madan Sundar Prabhu to make a part of his presentation. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much once again for your very enthusiastic participation and eagerness. Hare Krishna.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvashesh Shunyavadi Pashatai Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gau Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Nasimhaya. Namaste Jaste Jase Aviravir Bhava. Vajranakha Vajadamastra Karmashayam. Tamo Randhya Randhya. Abhyam Atmani Sham Om Swaha. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Damodara Prabhu, for that presentation on the topic of care. Is this connected? I connected this already. Yeah. How many of you were there for Saturday evening? I believe we had a seminar. Saturday afternoon. Okay. Most of you are not there, of course. You all would be busy with the services. So, how do we do it? I can either repeat what we discussed on Saturday afternoon, or we can have another topic. Should I give you an option, and would you like to vote for it? I mean, I'm not sure really. I remember Munindra Prabhu and Subala Prabhu were there, so I really don't want to bore them with the same topic, although it's a beautiful topic. So the first topic, what we did on last Saturday, was on Vaishnava relationships. And the second, that what we can do is the 4 essential skills required for caring for others. In fact, the skills that we all should cultivate and be conscious about while being part of the community. So what would be your choice? Option 1, option 2. So Vaishnava relationships. And that I speak about the triangle of fulfillment, a triangle of need. I can speak on that. So please raise of hands. In a democratic country, we take a democratic vote to go with. Mother, yeah? Actually, each topic is 2 hours. Prabhu already took some time, so I can try to do justice to one, and although I have 1 hour and less, so better we go for one topic, like that. Second topic, which I feel is extremely important, is about 4 essential skills to be caring or to care for others. And these skills are essential for outreach also. To be an effective outreach, the 4 essential skills. This is part of our devotee care program, like that. So, okay, last time, let's take a quick vote. Otherwise, I'll use my veto power to decide. Okay. So option 1, Vaishnava relationship. Let's have a quick raise of hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Let's go for 4 essential skills. In a democratic way. 1, 2. Mother, you didn't raise hand before, right? Oh, okay. Sorry, I got confused. I thought you raised hand for both. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess, and 9. So I guess earlier vote was 5. So is it okay if we go with the skills? All right. I was giving this particular seminar in Austria, Vienna, and one of the community members shared a particular experience of her. And I told her, you have shared something interesting. I'll be using your case study in my future seminar. I like to quote her, and I'll ask you, what do you think about it? So she told me just about to start this topic. She said, Prabhu, I've been around with this devotee community for almost a decade and more. However, when COVID came, I was living alone in Vienna. Not even once any of the devotee called me up. However, on the contrary, my karmi friends, they would occasionally call me up and check on me. How am I doing? But not even once I received a call from any of the devotees. And they knew very well I'm alone. And then she said, once the COVID ended, the temple opened. The very second day, I got a call from Mataji. And she said, Mother, how are you? How's everything at your end? Do you have some time tomorrow? And this mother said, yes. She said, can you please help me in the kitchen tomorrow afternoon for cleanup? So, before I give her response, what would be your potential response if that's the situation you had been? What kind of response would you give? Any quick thoughts? How many of you say, oh, thank God, finally I got a call from a Vaishnava. I'll be so excited to run to the temple and serve. Yes, Manindra Prabhu. COVID, okay. Online preaching. I was speaking on this in Zurich. One senior devotee said, well, this is how ISKCON functions. I said, okay. Anything else? Anything from the mother's side? Yes. Okay, how would you respond if that happened to you? What would you say? That's my question. If you have got a call for service for tomorrow, what would be your response? I mean, as I said, you didn't got any call during the call. Okay. So you would have been proactive yourself. Okay, thank you for that. So this situation would not have happened because you would have been proactive. Okay, thank you. Yes, mother.
You're more interested to have manpower than you're interested in how I'm doing. So it's not very personal.
Correct. I mean, how would you respond? What would be your response? I'm asking that way.
Yeah, that would be the response. I would tell them you are more interested in fulfilling the needs
Are you more,
than
okay.
in how I.
And actually caring? You just want service to be done. Any other quick response? Or last input? Yes, mother. I mean, it's but very natural human emotion. I will not get into psychology. I love that subject though. But while practicing devotional life, we should not neglect our emotions. I mean, we are first human, and then eventually we'll become something. So we should not neglect that part. And the mother said, I told them, I don't feel inspired to come to the temple. And that was pretty interesting. And the moment she concluded her case study, another lady, another Vaishnava was sitting there, she said, yes, I have noticed this. I feel more cared by my karmi friends and relatives than by the devotees. And now I had to speak on devotee care. So I was like, oh, how do I present the topic of devotee care? Looks like there is already some heartburn over here. So I like to present a kind of, we can say, a thesis, maybe you can, a thesis you can say, or Paribhasha Sutra for my presentation for today, and that is, there is no meaning to a word Vaishnava if you don't care for others. If somebody is a Vaishnava, he would genuinely care for other Vaishnavas. That's a minimal. In fact, a Vaishnava would care for every living entity. But, there's a big but. And let me tell you, and I'll ask you if you agree or disagree. So I am into congregation and community building services back in India. So one of my congregation mother was telling me, Prabhu, yesterday I spent 4 to 5 hours cooking nice lunch for my husband. He's so busy, he ate the lunch, but did not even give any reaction. Was it good or bad? I felt so discouraged to do any more cooking. What's the point of doing all this hard work if my husband can't even just say, was it good or bad? So my husband was there. I asked the husband, I said, what is this? She spent so many hours cooking for you in the lunch. Can't you just say thank you? And the husband gave a very classic response. Any guesses what could have been his response to this? And it's a very common response from every man. Again, I'll not get into psychology, but this is how the man's, this works, psychology works. Any guesses what could have been his response to it? Yes, mother. Well, I asked him, why didn't you do? And now he's justifying himself why he didn't say anything. It's a duty to do it. Okay, yes.
I told already.
I've told in the past. Okay, yes, Prabhu.
It's like, if I don't criticize, it's already
Oh, I'm not criticizing. That means there's an appreciation, unspoken. Okay. So man is relating to it. They're sharing what they would have done. Okay. Anything else from the mother's side? Yes, mother. Damodara Kripa, mother, right? I'm so sorry. Damodara Priya. Yes, mother. Why to speak? Of course, is good. Okay. Yes? Oh, yeah, I ate everything. Must be good, isn't it? Thank you, thank you. Yes, yes. I'm already doing everything for her. And on the same line, he said, Prabhu, we have been married for last 10 years. Do I still need to tell her that I care and love her? Doesn't she understand this? Now, sorry for getting into psychology for a bit. This is how the male function. But the need for the mother was just to get this word, thank you, that was delicious. Now my question is that the husband doesn't love the wife here? He loves. If he loves, then what was missing? What was missing because of which the wife became upset? Okay, communication, go further. expression. He did not knew how to express care. And I'll come back to the original problem that I raised here. So I told those ladies and mothers and the devotees there, I said, it is impossible to be a devotee and not to care for the devotees. The only issue is, as the devotees, at times we do not know how to express care. And my topic is about this. And when I conclude this topic, then you can let me know at the end if you agree with this thesis or not. I'll repeat myself again. As a devotee, it is impossible for us to be a devotee not to care. Minimum devotees, what to speak of every living entity, obviously. But the only challenge is we do not know how to express care. I mean, you may know, but I'm just saying. And therefore, we're going to talk about 4 essential skills that are really helpful or could be helpful to express care. Is that okay? That's the premises of our discussion, right? So, very first thing is, yeah, thank God it moved. The very first skill that I would like to focus on is building rapport or building relationship. My mind functions more in models, so I'll be giving some models here for you to easy to memorize that way. As Slovenia, one of the temple leader was discussing with me, and he said, Prabhu, we have so many Indians who come for every Sunday program. And generally Indians, they have this bhakti element and they are eager to render service. But we have been facing a challenge in properly engaging these devotees. We are overworked and undermanned. We really need their helping hands. And they're there to help, but we don't know how to engage them. So then I said, Prabhu, there is one reason why we are not able to engage them, because maybe we just don't know the art of having relationship, of building relationship. I'll present a case study here, and through that we'll walk through this model. Imagine a boy or a Vaishnavi have got inspired through book distribution or whatever reason. He or she have decided to join the temple, have come to the temple. But she has been or he has been living for around last 3-4 days in the temple, but is not able to come for the morning program at 4:30 a.m. He and she, whatever, knows very well the standards of the temple. And that person have voluntarily chosen to shift to the temple, but are not able to come up for the morning program because the previous lifestyle was they would sleep late, wake up late, and still struggling with that. So my question to all of you is, imagine yourself to be that individual responsible person for that candidate. How would you inspire that person to come to the standard of 4:30 a.m. morning program? What would you do so that that person feels inspired, not pushed? Not pushed, but inspired, because when you're inspired, then you will do it consistently. When you're pushed, then you may do it as long as there is a fear factor, and when not, they will skip it. So I saw the first hand here, then I'll go to you, mother, and then to you. Yes, Prabhu. So you'll speak to him about the advantages, okay? Okay, so what's your name, Prabhu? Sven. He said, I will discuss with him about that advantage of morning program, how it is helpful for oneself. So, okay, you'll give the advantages. Thank you. Coming to you, mother.
Yes, so we can inspire the best by our own example. So when we are happy and when we tell them so amazing, something great.
Oh, incredible, incredible.
Maybe they also would turn, and we can always tell them, you can try it out and you can see if it's worth it, and you can go to sleep afterwards.
So I'll go with the first thing that you said, modeling. Krishna says, Yat yat achrati shreshta tat tat eva tarojana. Hey Arjuna, whatever example you said would be followed by everyone else. So role model or modeling, very correct. I like to quote an example here. This is from Prabhupada Lilamrita Volume 1. When Srila Prabhupada was living in those in Bombay in the shipping quarters, in the quarters of the shipping company, and he had yet to travel to America, his neighbor once came to him and said, "Swamiji, I know why you want to travel to America. You still have some desires remaining. You want to go and check out how America looks." Prabhupada smiled. Prabhupada said, "Come on, what will I do in such an old age? No, I don't want to go to America to see. I have no such desire. I want to go because my spiritual master instructed me to preach in English. I want to go to fulfill his desire." And then that man said, "Swamiji, if you really want to fulfill the desire of your spiritual master, send the books. Books will reach America. The message of Krishna will reach to America. And your instruction of your spiritual master would be fulfilled." And then Prabhupada said something. Does anyone remember this? The very famous episode from the first few chapters of Prabhupada in India. Okay. Yes? Go on. Sorry. No problem. We're not going to cancel your dinner. Don't worry. Wrong answer, right answer, all are accepted here. Just go ahead. Okay, you're very close to it. Thank you for that. Stas, right? Yeah. So Prabhupada said, "My dear friends, the book Bhagavad is incomplete without person Bhagavad. Unless the people in America would see a living example practicing the teachings of book Bhagavad, they will not take the message of book Bhagavad seriously." So as Mother said here, setting an example, showcasing that you yourself practicing it. So what could be, because, there has to be a system. It's not that, imagine she goes and tells her every day I go for morning program. That will be awkward. Oops. Go down there. We tighten from here. I'm just giving a clue. I have done this in the past. So one simple thing could be create a WhatsApp group or any communication group, and there, after the whole morning program ends, announce the names of the devotees who came for the morning program and congratulating them, appreciating them. And imagine this Prabhu or Mother is looking at that message every day. And this is done very subtly because this person is added to the group and you're not preaching to him or her. And she sees, the lady or Vaishnava is taking care, or the Prabhu is taking care. Every morning he's there. So subtly you're communicating the message. That's about modeling. Okay, second thing which looks like some of you are indicating was about having a conversation, talking. Great, I'll come to it. Let's hear some more input. Yes, Prabhu. Oh, so Prabhu, you had something. Yeah, go ahead.
Maybe when I had the chat with this person, would tell that it was maybe hard for me at the beginning as well, that it took time. Seeing the situation of the other person.
Okay, so great. We get into conversation. Conversation. What else? Yes, Manindra Prabhu. Okay, again, conversation. Dialogue. Advantages, morning programs, spiritual. Thank you for that. What else? Okay. I would call this as mentoring. So, anyways, let me bring you to a model here, and let's take a look. So this relationship, building relationship, I'm going to propose and offer a model here, and it is called as MMOT model. The very first M, I'll be quick with this. I can share the presentation for your further reading later on. The very first step is modeling, setting an example. What we want the other person to do, we got to be doing ourselves. And we don't have to necessarily go and tell him or her that I'm doing it. We have to create a system by which the person knows. Otherwise, then the person will think we are so proud announcing our own glory, So we have to come with a system. That's about modeling. And Prabhupada did that. Prabhupada said, person Bhagavad is needed. Second step is mentoring. Again, we are talking about how to build a relationship. Mentoring refers to, as all of you said, having a conversation. This refers to one-to-one conversation. If you remember from Saturday, of course, very few of you were there, I had quoted Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj. And he, in one of his lectures, said, what your lecture will make a difference. More important than your lecture to hundreds of people is spending one-on-one time with an individual that would drastically influence that person. So Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur emphasized this one-to-one, having a personal connection, talking to the devotee, understanding his challenges, talking about the advantages for the morning program, all that philosophical understanding that comes in mentoring. Okay, imagine you have shared all the benefits from morning program. You have quoted all the scriptures. You've given examples of all the acharyas. Everything you have done. Yet he is not able to come for the morning program. And then you eventually ask him, what is your problem? We have spent weeks together listening to you, and I'm explaining I have exhausted all my Vedic knowledge on you. You're not changing. And you're not willing to change. What's wrong with you? And imagine he says, Prabhu, the room that you have allotted to me is towards the main street. It's too noisy. There's so much noise until midnight. I can't fall asleep. I want to sleep early. But what do? The room is such. You got to do something about it. What will you do then? Huh? Okay, earplugs. Okay, good earplugs. Brahmachari, straightforward, strict answer. No pampering. Okay. Anything else? What will you do? Yes. Change his room. And that brings us to the third step. And that is called as, okay. Before I come to the third step, let me just introduce quickly. Sorry for if I get into too many models. What does mentoring means? In that building relationship of mentoring one-on-one, there are 5 things that we got to do. Then only that one-to-one connection will be effective. So that is called as cares. I'll be quick with this. C for care. We got to have genuine feeling of care for that person. How many of you acknowledge when somebody really cares for you, even if that person doesn't speak, you feel that this person cares for me? How many of you have that experience? While on the contrary, you have an experience, somebody is saying that I care for you, but you feel like this fellow has got some ulterior motivation. How many of you have that both vice versa experience? Please raise your hand. So this genuine feeling of care is essential. One of my god brother, he's philosophically very strong. He gives a very scholarly presentation. He was speaking to my spiritual master once. He said, Guru Maharaj, when I give lecture, everyone applauds at the end of the lecture. Everyone loves the lecture. So Maharaj said, okay, wonderful. So what are you trying to tell me? Maharaj, but there is a problem. Maharaj said, what's the problem? Nobody understands anything what I speak. Everything goes above their head. So Maharaj said, why they applaud? They applaud because it feels like I gave a very scholarly presentation. This Shastra, that Shastra and all that. Maharaj, I don't want to just remain scholarly. I want people to understand what I'm speaking. Can you please guide me? And this is $1 million response from His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj. Maharaj said, Prabhu, you're highly qualified. I'm a college dropout. You're highly scholarly. I don't know that much scriptures also. I can't quote much verses also. But there is a difference. I feel blessed by Krishna with one particular quality. And that quality makes all the difference in my speech. Although I repeat the same message week after week, year after year, but somehow it resonates with the hearts of the audience. And we were like, yes, what is that, Maharaj? Any guesses? Oh, by the way, are you interested in this story? I can skip it, if that's not much relevant. Okay, you're serious for it, okay. Maharaj said, I am genuinely blessed by Krishna with a feeling of care for others. Somehow that care manifests in my speech, and which resonates. So having that feeling of care is important before we get into building a relationship. Okay, moving forward. Second thing is, we're talking 5 things in one-to-one relationship. Second thing is A for appreciation. How many of you will feel inspired if you're appreciated, if you have done some devotional service, even if not to the perfectionist level, but you did something, you tried at your level best. How many of you say you'll feel inspired if a devotee comes and says, Prabhu, that was nicely done. Thank you so much. Please raise your hand. Some of you say, okay, you are pretty hard-hearted then. We all need some appreciation. Okay, thank you for that. This is so powerful tool. It's so powerful tool, particularly in the beginning years. Because the living entity, when he walks into Krishna consciousness, he's really longing for some appreciation. If you have ever received a garland, you would remember that moment for the forever in your life. Oh, garland! Who gives so much respect? Oh, garland! In Krishna conscious society, you get garland so often. So, I remember, this is almost 10, 12 years ago, I used to do some college outreach that time. I had a student, for last 2 months, I was taking care of him and he was chanting around 4 rounds. And we had a particular camp or a retreat for students who have been chanting for last 20 years. And at the end of the retreat, they had to take a commitment to chant 16 rounds. And those who took commitment, they all were given some appreciation and prize or gift. So many of the students from that, they took that. But because this boy was only there for around 2 months, when I asked him, so how much commitment would you take? He said, Prabhu, I chant 4. I can increase by 2 rounds. I'll chant 6 rounds. And I was feeling, I said, this guy has been there for only 2 months, and all of them had been there for 1 year, going through so many training. Of course, they will take a commitment for 16 rounds. But I want him to also feel inspired. So I brought him to our leader. And I was not sure how my leader is going to react. So I said, Prabhu, this devotee boy has been there for last 2 months, and he got really inspired by your lecture. And he has taken a commitment. And Prabhu said, oh, 16 rounds? I said, no. Not 16 rounds. He was chanting 4 rounds, and he has taken commitment to chant 6 rounds. There was a moment of silence. Because I was the only one who introduced somebody who was chanting less than 16 rounds. And then suddenly Prabhu said, oh, what a brilliant news. This boy has taken a commitment to chant 2 more rounds. Everyone, please give a big round of applause. He was given appreciation then and there, and the gift which was given to other boys was given to him also. You will not believe how much moved he was by that gesture. He took a vow to chant 6 rounds. By the end of the week, he was chanting 8 rounds, and by the end of the next month, he was chanting 16 rounds. Appreciation is so powerful. Are you seeing that? Sometimes we just don't do that appreciation. He knows already. Therefore, I'm giving him service. Otherwise, why would I give him service if I don't like his service? But just giving that appreciation makes all the difference. Are we on the same page? It's so powerful, so powerful. Okay, moving forward. Third is respect. Who is a Vaishnava? I'll go back to Mahabharata. Dronacharya called Duryodhana and called Yudhishthira. And he said, Duryodhana, go and find out if someone is better than you. And he said, Yudhishthira, go and find out somebody is lower than you. Duryodhana went around the kingdom, came back. Dronacharya asked, so, did you find anyone better than you? Duryodhana said, no, Guru Maharaj. Nobody is better than I. I am the best. And then Yudhishthira Maharaj came. Dronacharya asked, Yudhishthira, so did you find anyone lower than you? No, Guru Maharaj. Because I am the lowest of all. And precisely this is Kanishta, this is Uttama, we say. So as a Vaishnava, our basic philosophy is to respect everyone. And of course, there is a means of respecting seniors, equals, and juniors, but we respect. So that feeling of respect is very much required when we're having that relationship. I'll give you an example. was just a boy who has been around for a few months, or maybe a year or so. He was having some difficulty with the fourth regulative principle, with sexual purity. He came to the devotee who had been taking care of him, and he said, Prabhu, I had so and so challenge. Maybe he saw some wrong movies or something. That fellow, he immediately said, oh, you're such a fallen person. I should not associate with you only. After spending 1 year with you, you're still not able to control your senses. Get out from here. And that person came out with tears in his eyes. I said, how can this person be so hard-hearted? So a sense of respect has to be there. Mistake happens by everyone, but to put somebody down thinking that there's no hope for him, then the relationship would not work. This is about the third. So C for care, A for, R for, and now we come to E, that is encouragement. For every little success, we should celebrate. And it works incredibly well. We do this quite often back in India. We have this different occasions. For example, let's say somebody's birthday, we celebrate. Somebody have completed one Prabhupada book, we celebrate. Somebody have done some quota of service or something. For example, I don't know, but there was a special feast today, pizza celebration today. And I saw Govindev Prabhu, right? Prabhu's name. Govindev Prabhu, who was so busy in organizing the festival, he was himself there cooking pizza. So I kind of felt that, he's kind of celebrating the success of the festival with the whole community by inviting them for that program where he's himself cooking pizza for us together. So, this is how I kind of took it. I don't know exactly what was the purpose. I just got to know that I have to go for lunch outside. So I just went there. And then I asked Muniraj Prabhu, I said, is this the regular lunch? Pizza every afternoon? He said, no. This is once in a while like that. So I believe that could be the occasion. So encouragement does a lot. It's a very powerful thing. And the last but not the least, all these four things would not really work well if I am in the position of taking care, would not sacrifice for the sake of other person. Can any one of you here think of a quick incident where your heart was touched because of Vaishnava sacrifice for your sake, and that person compromised his own convenience, comfort, just to give comfort to you? Any, which really touched your heart and made you feel really grateful for that devotee? Any quick experience anyone have in your mind? Anyone have that experience? I'm pretty sure we all are here because of so many such experiences. Otherwise, Krishna conscience would be too dry if we don't have the sweet moments. Prabhu? Uh-huh.
He's a craftsman, and when I asked him, hey, can you help me with this? 2 days later it was done. It's rare that I ask for help, but when I asked him, and I was so surprised that he just did it like.
Wow. So responsive. Thank you for that. Yes, Subala Prabhu. Is everyone able to hear each other? We can be a little louder. Yeah, we can speak on the mic.
Our brahmachari leader.
Because after pizza lunch, it's difficult to stay awake. Yeah, go ahead.
Our brahmachari leader, Moninda Ganapur, he takes care of most brahmacharis, but in my case, he cared a lot for my problems, or dealt with my sleepiness, and so much tolerance and care was there. So it's a longer process.
Correct. Just I'm looking for one incident which you felt like, wow, devotees are so kind, so nice. Mother, please. And we would have so many such experiences around. This is what care in action. And in this, you don't even have to speak anything. It's just so visible. I remember I was giving a seminar, I believe Slovenia or some other place, and I felt really thirsty. And I was speaking already for 1.5 hours. I had done some kirtan prior to it. Oh, I did Gaurati. And after that I had a lecture. And I was feeling thirsty. I don't know what happened. The devotee was sitting in front. Somehow he sensed it. He went inside, and he was so conscious. He not only brought the water, but he brought a warm water. He brought a warm water, and I had not said anything. I was just going on with my class, and I was just so moved by his gesture, his attentiveness. I was like, wow, such a nice. And he was one of the leaders in the community, who took that. Sometimes we say, okay, maybe some junior will do that, but that was very nice. So like this, we all would have that. So, okay, I've spoken a lot. So the very first thing we're talking about, again, the point I was making so far is, as a Vaishnava, by default, we love all the Vaishnavas, what to speak about. Sorry, we love all living entities, what to speak about Vaishnavas. Is without a doubt, is there. Only thing is, at times, we do not know how to express care. So there are 4 things that we're talking, 4 skills. The very first skill we're talking about is building relationships. And in building relationship, I gave a model to you. What is that model? MMOT. Set an example, mentoring, then organization. Oh, you're talking about mentoring so far, yeah. So this is mentoring. So this is the way we build. And if we act in this way, the care element would naturally manifest. Because in all of these, care is inherent of it. So this is about sacrifice. This concludes mentoring. And coming back to the third aspect of this model is organization. So this boy is not able to sleep because the road is too noisy. Munindra Prabhu would go and give him the earplugs and say, sleep tight. Okay, don't get disturbed. Your name, mother? Narayani Maharani said, will change his room or her room. So in other way, if some problem has come to us, we need to organize. In other words, we need to create an alternative facility. We need to provide a facility for that individual so that he can fall asleep. Because when he can fall asleep, then we can expect him to wake up early in the morning. Prabhupada, many places in his writings, he writes, what is the purpose of ISKCON? He would often say, I have created this international society for Krishna consciousness to give opportunity to all to come and associate with Vaishnavas, hear about Krishna, honor Krishna Prasadam, and get their lives transformed. And this was the objective for which he created this community of the society and the temples all around. So organization. So what we want that person to do can only be possible when we are providing facility that facilitates that particular instruction. Is that okay so far? So imagine now you have given him a room where he can easily go to sleep by 9 o'clock. If not 9, but 10 o'clock. If after you have done modeling, mentoring, organization, now with full confidence, you can tell him, Prabhu, tomorrow morning, 4:30 a.m. I am coming to your room at 4 a.m. to wake you up. What do you think that devotee is going to say now? If he's got a good place to take rest. Would he be more willing to it? He may struggle to wake up, but would he be more willing to acknowledge this? That's the whole point about this MMOT. One last thing in organization, while we caring for others, we have to ensure we don't compromise self-care. Yukta hara viharasya, yukta cheshtasa karmashu, yukta sapnova bodhasya. This was the 6th chapter verse from Bhagavad Gita. So we need to care for ourselves, and to the degree we care for ourselves, to that degree we can care for the person. Is that okay? We can go into late nights helping another devotee. That's good. But it's good as long as you're able to wake up next morning for the morning program and chant your japa in the morning time. But if you have yourself skipped the morning program because you were taking care, of course exceptions are there. Something have happened urgently is okay. But that becomes your routine way of taking care of others by spending late nights and missing the morning program. We're going to get affected by it. And then we'll not be really able to care for those. Is that okay? So this is about MMOT. Any question or any comment on this? The first skill, building relationship. And the model is modeling, mentoring, organization, and teaching. A disclaimer. this model will work fantastically. I will not go in the teaching model right now. This model will work fantastically, but it has to be followed in the same sequence. First have to be modeling, then mentoring, then organization, and then teaching. And you can do a quick exercise for it, not now, later on. Reflect on Srila Prabhupada's life for this model. And you will see Prabhupada followed it as it is. And therefore he was so effective in it. Okay, any questions or any comments around it? Is it going okay? Making sense? I hope I'm not becoming like that scholarly devotee. Everything went above that. Okay, all right. And people applauded. Okay. All right. So first skill we have discussed, the caregiving skill. What could be the another essential skill for giving care or for being part of the caring community? Oh, don't look at that. You're going to read it. I don't want to waste your time. I'll give you the slide. You can take leisure in reading it. So I shared one skill, building relationship. How to build relationship? We provided some skill set for that, some model. What could be the second essential skill where we all become caregivers? Naturally. We are caregivers. Again, we don't know how to express care. That's the point. What could be that? Where people would naturally be attracted, feel loved, cared for by that particular action. Shri Prahlad Nrsimhadev ki jai. Yes, Stas.
I'm too sentimental, but I would say that you must love this person and then you won't compare so much.
Yeah, so we talked about that in mentoring. C for care, appreciation, respect, encouragement. We talked about it. You know, respect and all that. What else? Yes. Skill, which is correct. You got to be happy to give happiness to others. I mean, when it comes to giving knowledge, in ISKCON we have got scholars. You be around for 6 months, everyone is a scholar. We can sit and give long lectures without a doubt. We are good speakers. Okay, let me give you an example. There was a Sunday morning Bhagavatam lecture going on in India, and one of the temples, we had almost 500 plus audience. And here there's a devotee who's giving a lecture, and in the due course of giving a lecture, and the chapter was Forest of Material Enjoyment from Srimad-Bhagavatam, Canto 4. During the course of giving a lecture, he shared a confidential thing revealed to him by one of the congregation couple. And their challenge, he shared it out in a public assembly. How many of you say, that's okay? In Krishna consciousness, we are transparent. We don't have any private life. Our life is public life. Transparent. So that's totally okay. How many of you say this is not okay? Please raise your hand. The speaker should not have done that. Raise your hand. Okay, everyone agrees. Class ended, people walked away. Interestingly, that couple was in the audience. And that couple came to this speaker. And the couple said to the speaker, Prabhu, how can you do this to us? We shared our challenge to you and you shared it publicly. It was shared with full confidence that you're going to maintain confidentiality. We wanted guidance, but you shared it publicly. You know what speaker said? Why are you so disturbed? I never took your name. Nobody would know who I was talking about. So now what do you think? The speaker was right or still wrong? How many of you say, oh, if he has not shared the name, then people will not know, then it is right. Please raise your hand. How many of you agree this is right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe that's okay. You can be in a gray area. How many of you say, okay, so at the back, how many of you say this is still not okay? Take some sides. Okay. There's nothing right or wrong. Okay, you're still processing. is totally wrong. Can you imagine the trauma that couple would have had? Although the speaker have not taken the name, for them, their challenge have been shared publicly. And they would be in this emotional trauma. What would people think? People would know. They said, Prabhu, you have never taken the name, but do you think the people would not understand who you were talking about? They were so heartbroken. And here comes a second essential skill, is about zip it up. That is maintaining confidentiality. At no cost, whatever has been shared to us in a confidential way should be shared with others. Least publicly. We can't even share with others what to speak out publicly. What will happen if you do that? The other person would immediately lose trust on you. Yes or no? The relationship is disturbed. And what would that person say? Such a speaker is so hard-hearted and self-centered. He does not understand what care is. Yes or no? To be a caring also means to care the sentiments and emotions of the person. So that's the second thing. Is that okay? But, yes, mother, please. See, if it is personal case study, then it is not, it is my decision to keep it confidential or make it public. But if it is your case study, which you have shared with me in confidence, then I cannot share it publicly without your approval. Because if you get to hear it, you will be deeply hurt. How can Prabhu do like this? Yes or no? Is that okay? So when it comes to giving examples, there are so many examples that can be. You know, for example, I started my discussion today by giving an example of a congregation from Vienna who shared her problem that I was not cared during COVID. I started with that. Now, why I started with that, I met her here and I told her that I'm discussing your case study. And I said, why am I discussing your case study? And although I have not taken your permission, because you shared with me in a public forum. It was shared in the class, it was live streamed, it was already public. I can take that public disclosure and make it a public. But if you would have spoken to me one-to-one, then before sharing it, I would have sent a message, Mother, can I use your case study? That's the difference. Okay? Imagine. So we're talking about maintaining confidentiality. Somebody, guhyam akhyati prachati, guhyam, confidential. Imagine one of the community members comes to you, tells you, Prabhu, I have had enough of this life. I don't want to continue in this material world. I am too eager to go back home, back to Godhead, and I have decided. Today, 8 p.m. Nitai Gaur Haribol. I will be committing suicide to catch Vaikuntha Airlines. Of course, what would you do? What would you do? You would reason with him not to commit suicide, yes or no? Agreed upon? Imagine if all your reasoning have exhausted and this person is not willing to change his decision. Then what would you do? Communicate with authorities. Thank you. I asked this question in another forum. The devotee said, Prabhu, if he's not listening to me, then I'll tell him, don't worry, 8 o'clock I'll come to your house with Ganga Jal and Tulsi leaves. So your departure is in a spiritual way. So, as Narayani Maharani said, such things cannot be kept confidential. So there are 3 things according to laws of the land where we should not keep confidentiality. The first, the exception to it is when somebody wants to harm himself or herself. We need to share it. We need to raise it. or escalated. We need to inform the authorities because he's going to harm himself. Second, if the person want to harm others. And the third, if a person wants to break the law. Prabhu, I've got a credit card. It has got 50,000 US dollars. 50% your quota, 50% mine. I need your blessing. Sounds lucrative, isn't it? But according to the laws, if police happen to catch him, and if he confesses to the police that before the crime, I had informed my mentor and he had given me 100% blessing. You would be 100% party to the crime. The police will come and catch you and put you behind the bars. And this has happened. One congregation couple had to spend 7 days behind the prison because of this incident. Anyways, so these are 3 exceptions that we need to take care. Otherwise, for all other situations, we have to maintain confidentiality. So my question to you, if a devotee comes, before a devotee can share his feelings or his or her heart to you, he needs to have trust on us, right? And if we uphold the trust, would we be acting as a caregiver? Would we be acting as a caring to that person? Yes or no? If we uphold the trust, if we keep the trust, and if we hear him and do not break the confidentiality, is it a caring principle? Yes or no? Yes or no? Arey, say something. You are turning your head 360 degree. What do I decode with it? Yes or no? Say loudly. Okay. I guess we had pizza up to here. Sound is not coming out. So we agree, right? So these are the second quality. All right. Let's go to the third. Now you might wonder why we are talking about 4. There can be more. I didn't touch upon that, but I'll just quickly touch upon it and move to the third skill. Our International Society for Krishna Consciousness have such a diverse background, have such a diversity. Therefore, these 4 skills have been shortlisted, which can be universally applied. However, according to time, place, circumstance, and our situation, there are many more skills we can exercise as part of caregiver. Is that okay? But we're talking 4 universal skills. All right, let's come to the third skill. Imagine you are a Kirtan leader of your temple. And every Kirtan program, Stas is happy. His future service. Every temple program has to be there, function has to be there. You are the one who leads the Kirtan, who sets up the Kirtan, etc. If anyone have done this service, you know that there's a lot of setup to be done. Carry harmonium, mridang and whatnot. You have been training a particular student, and this student or this particular devotee from the community has been helping you all this while in your Kirtan services, particularly setting up the Kirtan program. One fine day he comes to you and he tells you, Prabhu, I would like to learn cooking. I want to do some cooking service. What is your potential response could be? What would you... I mean, okay, let me give a response. If you agree or not, you may be a little shy to speak. Yes?
Give some time and I need to find a new helper.
Okay, I need to find a new helper. You know, if you go to kitchen service, what will happen to my service? Okay, thank you for that. Thank you. How about this? Prabhu, I have analyzed you carefully. Your guna and karma is not for cooking. Your guna and karma, I see your future. You are the next Indra Prabhu for our temple. You're going to be the fantastic Kirtan. I'm just joking here. In other words, we would philosophize and try to discourage him because there is a fear if we pass it on to him to a kitchen. And particularly, I know nothing about cooking, which means I can't teach him cooking, which means I need to pass it on to another devotee, which means I might lose him and there would be insecurity. Yes or no? Yes? Now talk about the care component. Of course, we got to be practical here, and I'll be in the practical in that. As a care component, what if I do? Okay, Prabhu, I am not a good cook. I can't teach you. I can't be the jack of all trades. I am not good in it. I'm willing to refer you to a devotee who is an excellent cook. Please go and learn cooking under him. Is that a caring thing? Is that a caring thing? Now, while caring for him, you want to care for your service also. So that insecurity goes away. What if then you say, Prabhu, but I have a request. I know that you want to learn cooking, and it may just so happen that you may get absorbed in the kitchen services, but can we have this understanding? 50% kitchen service, 50% kirtan service. You are also cared. I am also cared. Is that doable? So this third skill, what is called as referrals. Let me give another study. This was pertaining to service. Let me give another example. Imagine you're a temple leader and one of the community member comes to you and the time went off. I need to know the time. Can I pass my mobile so I have some time? Okay. What was I saying? Imagine a devotee comes to you, a community member comes to you and says, Prabhu, I have been diagnosed with a serious health issue and I want your guidance. You have no medical background, but you have another devotee in your community who is another senior leader and he is a doctor. And he comes to you, Prabhu, can you please tell me, should I take homeopathy, allopathy, Ayurveda, or alternative medicine? Which treatment should I take? What should be our response to that person? We have no medical background. We already have another leader in our community who has a medical background. What should be our response? Yes, Maniraj Prabhu. Okay, thank you. Anyone else from others? Any comments? Okay, bring into a person who's expert in that. Stas, yes?
I think the main thing is not to start to speak from yourself. So when I am responsible and then when somebody asks me something that I don't know, I should clearly say that I don't know it and not to start with
Yeah.
some nonsense. Then we will lost.
Okay. So if I can paraphrase what Stas is saying, what if the person comes to me and tell him, Prabhu, I don't know about medical field. I don't need to be the guru for everything. But I am willing to help you, take you to my doctor or take you to another devotee who has a great knowledge in medical science. However, at the end of the day, you have to make a decision. Would that be a caring gesture? Would you call this as a caring gesture? Acknowledging that I don't know, but I would guide you to somebody who knows about it? Rather than taking responsibility, well, I know, let us do a toss. If it is head, homeopathy. If it is tail, go for allopathy. This is the divine arrangement. So not like that. Okay, one quick question. Why would somebody may not do referral? It may hurt their ego. Somebody, yes? Huh? Sorry? Okay, they may go into their association. So we have a fear of losing that person. What else? Why would we may hesitate from referring? Yes? Pride. Oh, how can that person know better than I? I know the best. I am the guru of all. Okay, thank you. What else? Why we may not refer? I recommend this devotee to another devotee for help. Insecurity, as you were saying, of losing. Yes, Des. Oh, envy. Envy. Okay, okay. If we refer, it's a part of the caring. And if we fail to refer, that's not caring. I hope this is clear so far. Any question or comment on this? Any reflection on this? The third skill. What are the three skills we have discussed? What is the first one? As a 4 core skills as a caregiving. What is the first one? Building rapport. And what was the model for building rapport? Okay, somebody else now. What is MMOT stands for? Can somebody raise a hand that I can call upon? What does MMOT stands for? Mentoring, okay? Madan Narayani, yeah. Modeling, mentoring, organization. T for teaching. And what was the condition with this model? It has to be followed in a sequence. You can't break the sequence, otherwise it will not work. So building rapport, what was the second skill? For caregiving, what was the second skill we discussed? No. Yeah, in this you have to make notes, otherwise you'll get confused. Well, second, maintaining confidentiality, zip it up. And third one is on the board. That is making referrals. And the fourth and the last one, before I go ahead, little light movements here. So here is, I am the all in all. Psychiatric help, the doctor is in. I am there to help, please come, whatever help you need. And then the poor student comes, shares the problem. And the doctor says, you're hopeless. You're completely hopeless. Nothing better can happen for you. So, discouragement. I'll skip this. This is my favorite. So, the doctor is telling him, George, it is not psychotherapist. It is psychotherapist. It is one word. You have misunderstood it. Here, doctor speaking to a patient. Do any of your relatives suffer from mental illness? The patient. No. They all seem to enjoy it. Everyone is mental around here. All right, let's come to the last one. And the fourth and the very essential skill is ethics. It also refers to integrity. Before I come to integrity in ethics, I like the point when Stas Prabhu said, acknowledging one's own inability to help. And saying that, Prabhu, this is not my service. I can guide you to another person first. When we acknowledge we can't assist in certain area, then comes the second part is continuous professional development, wherein we're taking training to grow ourselves. Remember? Organizing oneself. So we care for ourselves, then we can care for others. That's the second thing. And the third comes is integrity. And there are three kinds of integrity. First, spiritual integrity. What is spiritual integrity? Wherein we don't use scriptures to justify our opinion, to persuade that person to believe what I am saying by quoting scriptures. Is that resonating? That's called spiritual integrity. Presenting as it is, not using scriptures. Yes. Okay. There was this congregation mentor, Vaishnavi. So I had a student, and she got in touch with a student, a lady, Vaishnavi, through the marriage portfolio. And she, being a senior mentor, arranged her marriage, who was my student, student as per se, connected to my program, with her student, They both got married. I got the news. I was happy for it. 15 days later, this girl sent me a message. Prabhu, I'm filing for divorce. I said, what? You just married for 2 weeks. Why are you getting divorced? What happened? And she said something so serious. When I go back, we have a case to resolve that particular congregation. She said, Prabhu, I asked her, I said, what was the problem with the husband that you're getting divorced? And she shared certain problem. Maybe I can share that in that way. And she said, when I got married to this person, on the very first day he told me, see, these are terms and conditions of our relationship. What are the terms and conditions? Don't expect much love from me. I am there to take you to the temple. And if you fall sick, I'll take you to the hospital. And what I expect from you in return is you take care of my parents. I will be busy in devotional service. Don't disturb my devotional service. Don't expect anything beyond it. And she said, Prabhuji, he's so hard-hearted. I cannot tolerate. How does he speak like this? So I asked him, I said, didn't you speak to each other before marriage? She said, Prabhu, I never spoke to him before marriage. I said, how is it possible? She said, Prabhu, this mentor, she said, according to Vaishnava culture and tradition, before marriage, men and women are not supposed to talk to each other. I persuaded and I said, Prabhu, oh mother, I would like to. Then what she said, this marriage is not agreed upon by me. My Guru Maharaj, this girl was planning to take Diksha from her Guru. So she said, my Guru Maharaj, which means your Guru Maharaj for tomorrow, he came to my dream last night and he told me, you should get married to him. And then I investigated more about the boy. And then she told me, Prabhuji, I did not even knew that he was a divorcee. He had already divorced. And that marriage also didn't last more than a month. So how did this all happen? This mentor, this particular individual, kept on saying, this is how the Vaishnava culture is, this is what Guru Maharaj wants. And they wanted this person to get married and stable so that he can continue his service without caring for my life. Sorry for a little extreme example. There are cases like this. I hope I didn't make you too grave. But ethics, therefore ethics are very important, which means integrity. That's what spiritual integrity. Second is financial integrity. We have 4 minutes to conclude. 7 o'clock prayer starts. Financial integrity, which means, and there are so many cases around, if I am in a position of influence, I should not use it to influence community members to take a loan without having any legal bonding. And there are so many cases have happened. So financial integrity means if I have said I will return, then I need to return. We had a big case back in India in one of the places where a person took huge loan from his community member and he said after 3 years I will return it. And he took a loan from 100 of community members in crores on 0 interest. After 3 years, became 5 years, he never returned the money. So never misuse the position. Is that okay? I'm running through it. And the third one in integrity is sexual integrity. Again, never use your position and influence to misbehave or to act or go beyond your jurisdiction or to influence the opposite sex. So these are the part of ethics. So these 4 things, the first quality, the first skill set, building relationship. If you understand the trick of the game, then it automatically becomes caring. The second, zip it up, maintaining confidentiality. That builds trust. Third, making referrals. Be broad-minded. Don't become afraid about it, and you can always have a discussion about services. And the fourth, ethics. If we act according to these 4 things, do you agree this is part of caregiving? It becoming a caregiving community? So it's not that we don't love Vaishnavas, we love Vaishnavas. It's just we don't know at times how to express care. With that, I will pause here. I know the time is over now. Thank you for your kind attention. If any quick comment or question, or else, I believe I was told 7 o'clock there are some prayers to be offered. If there would be something, we can do it after prayers in terms of one-on-one, not in a public forum like that. Anything quickly? We have 2 minutes. Yes, Tas. Before I take your question, sorry for that. Is that resonating? These 4 things. Once again, I started with the premises, not that we don't love or care devotees. At times, we don't know how to express. Remember the example of husband. She already knows. So we just have to be conscious of these 4 things, and the whole thing will change around. Stas, go ahead. Classic example is Dhruva Maharaj. When Narad Muni told him, Dhruva, go back. And Dhruva Maharaj said, my dear respected Narad Muni, I respect you, but my heart is not willing to accept your instruction because I have made the determination to fulfill my desire. Either you guide me on that, or else I humbly deny your instruction. And he very politely said, that's culture. So now in terms of, you're talking about criticism, again, I was speaking to you before also on this. Do I have the right? And I don't think so we have a right to criticize anyone. We do have a right to find faults, and we have the right to find faults in our students and no one else. Okay? There's nothing like criticizing softly, criticizing harshly. Criticism is harsh only. Okay? Thank you. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you for your kind attention and this wonderful community. It was a pleasure to be here. Hare Krishna.